Howdy, listeners. This is Shaner, here to inform you about the episode you're about to listen to. Throughout this episode, you will hear us refer to a man named Patrick. Patrick's imaginary. It was a joke developed before we even started filming the episode. All you need to know about Patrick is that he isn't real, he lives in the void, and we meet him when we're about to enter a Zoom call. If you can remember that, the following episode will be hilarious. Please enjoy.
Hello out there, and welcome to Small Beards and Big Opinions,
where the world is crazy, but luckily, so are we.
My name is Eddie Boyce.
I'm Shaner.
And I'm Zach.
Wow.
Whoa, Eddie, what's that?
Is that a third person I hear?
Wow, there's a third person on today.
Wow. This isn't video recorded, by the way. This is just audio, Zach. So
okay.
People couldn't see your
people
hand
couldn't
gesture
see
there.
my hand gestures. That'd be awesome.
That would be
I'm gonna have to
awesome.
describe to them. And he came in and did this random hymn. I'm really tired, okay? Look, I just took an insurance test and it was 2 hours long and it sucked. It just sucked. But anyways, I'm here and I'm happy to be here. I know people can't see my hand gestures, so they won't know what I'm doing or if I'm doing anything crazy. But you know, I'm here. I'm happy to be here.
Are you Italian?
I'm like 10% Italian, but
Wow.
I say I'm Italian because it's cool. Like I got dark, like olive skin, so.
Well, you know, the hand gestures, your complexion, they all
Yeah. A little
Italian.
bit of this is because of the you know the
that 10%.
that 10%, and like the rest is Czech. I completely ignore the Czech part. Like I feel like the Czech just does not get appreciated enough, but that's just the way it is. It's how it is. I live my life. I'm Italian.
Well, Eddie, why don't you tell people how we know Zach, so they don't just think we brought on a random stranger.
I mean, at this point, it's almost like a random stranger. When's the last time we've actually met? It's been like almost a year since I've last seen you, right?
Me? Yeah. It's been a good few months. You moved to Kansas
I did.
with that Twister. So
Yeah,
that was yeah, you don't have a dog named Toto as far as I know.
Not right. Not yet.
Wicca. I don't know if you have a wicked. I can't speak to the wicked. All right, I'm not even
the Wicked Witch of the West.
The Wicked Witch
I
of
do
the
it
West.
for you.
Thank you, Shaner. Yeah, I was gonna add that to the bit, but you know what? Screw it. I'm done.
All right. Well, anyways, Zach went to the same college as we did. Good old Waynesburg University.
Yeah, Waynesburg University.
Let's go.
Ooh. And so that's how we know him. And Zach, why did we bring you on today? What did I ask you like 3 weeks ago?
You asked me 3 weeks ago to kind of enlighten people about electronic dance music. So that's what I'm gonna do, or at least that's what I'm gonna try to do.
Yeah. I mean, you've been listening for a really, really long time, right?
Yeah. I'd say like good 5 years, maybe more.
Okay. All right. So semi expert in the listener category.
Sort of. I'm not going to call myself an expert. I would just say that like I could kind of understand what's going on in electronic dance music. And
you're on our show, kind of can't explain it, is close enough to expert for this show.
Okay, all right, good.
Yeah, you're close enough.
We're good. Yeah, I can kind of explain it to you, but it can get very complicated. And by no means, if there are any people that are going to say, oh, he's not a music expert, I'm disappointed. He didn't tell me about the wavelengths and the signs and anything. I'm sorry, okay? Like, I'm not a music expert. I don't know that, or I don't have that level of knowledge. So the knowledge I do have is from listening to a wide variety of genres, a wide variety of artists, and also my show from college, All EDM, and the Twitter page I do, which is at All EDM at 4.
Oh, the early plug-in, which is fine. Go ahead.
If you got Twitter, go look it up right now.
Yeah,
Stop
right
the
now.
show, go look it up. familiarize yourself, then come back.
Yeah, I follow it. I sometimes drop funny gifs in the comments of it.
Yeah, he does. Eddie is great on my Twitter page. He provides some good laughs, but also some good motivation as well. Yeah, up to 30 followers. All EDM at 4 is I mean, there's an @ symbol,
Right.
but you know, most people know that, so like there's no reason to. Going to be posting a playlist soon because I was in Aruba 2 weeks ago, and I'm still working on what I want to do next. But
Cool. All right. So before we hop into an interview with Zach, we're of course gonna do our first 2 segments of the show, History and Hypotheticals. Oh, I never introduced the show name. This is History and Hypotheticals, folks. Currently one of our most popular, most viewed episodes on this channel.
Yeah.
Good job, everyone. Anyway, so our first segment is fact, false. Shanner, do you want to loosely describe what that is?
Yeah, so basically kind of equivalent to the game Two Truths and a Lie. What we do is Eddie and I are going to pick a topic, could be any topic, and we tell 2 facts and 1 thing that is false about that topic. And your job as both Eddie and Zach here and as the listeners is to decide what is false. And you try to guess, and if you get it right, then tell us in the comments and we'll give you a little gif of like a monkey doing a little dance. That's your motivation. I'll do it.
Get the memo on that one.
It can't be that hard. We'll figure it out.
Okay. All right. Do you want to go first, Shane, or you want me to go first?
I'll go first.
All right. Hit us up. What's your theme for fact, false?
My theme is soda, as in carbonated drinks.
Okay. Like what brands?
History.
Oh, history.
History. Okay. Different brands' history.
Okay. And just so everyone's aware, because me and Shannon got this mixed up last time, the false thing is going to be like completely false. Like there's not going to be no true bits in it. So it's not like a half true, half lie. Like it's going to be completely false. So it's going to be obvious. So anyways, continue.
Okay. First possible fact, possible fiction. The Dr. Pepper original formula was kept in 2 parts in 2 different safe deposit boxes to make sure nobody could get the formula. Sprite was originally developed in West Germany and originally called Fanta Claire Zitrone, which means clear lemon Fanta, or was the original Crush orange drink developed as a way to get children to drink flavored orange medicine.
Ooh. Okay.
Those are your fact, fiction, or false. Now your job is to determine what is fact and what is false.
Is it fact, fiction? I've been saying it wrong this entire time.
No, I think it's fact, false.
Yeah, it's fact,
but both
false.
of them sound right.
Yeah, they do sound right. Anyways, okay. I think I know what's the second one that you said?
Good luck. Got all my lists here. All 3 of them.
Do you want to run
Sprite?
through them again, Zach, or are you good?
I think if he could go through them again, it would.
Okay.
Yeah, no problem.
Because that was a little weird.
The original formula for Dr. Pepper was kept in 2 separate parts in 2 different safety deposit boxes to keep it from anyone stealing the formula. The original Sprite recipe was developed in West Germany in 1959, and Crush orange soda was originally developed as a way to get children to take orange-flavored medicine.
Okay. I think I know which one's the false one here. Zach, what do you think?
I'm thinking it's the second one that's the false one. The first and the third are just oddly, they're really specific. So
Okay.
that leads me to believe that they're true.
All right. The first one, so the first one I know is true. I've heard that one before. The second one is too oddly specific. I think that's also true. So I'm going to go with the third one. I think the third one is the false one, the Crush soda one.
Okay, if you're listening at home, pause this video right now, make up your mind, and if you look up the answer, I'll know. And I'll come to your house, and while you're sleeping, I'll cut off all your hair and take clothes out of your closet, and I will make a very specific scarecrow of you. And I will leave it standing in your kitchen. So when you go in, have your coffee or eat your breakfast, there's a scarecrow of you with your real hair, and now you're bald. So don't look it up. Guess.
Okay.
All right. I'm assuming you've come back from pausing the video. And the answer was Eddie was correct. The Fanta one was incorrect. Zach, the Sprite one's actually true. I was a little worried, but I actually got really specific about the name. It was called originally Fanta Claire Zytrone, which stood for Clear Lemon Fanta.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not. Well, I'm gonna try to remember that, but probably not.
I had never heard
It's
that
cool.
before, and I'll probably
Yeah.
forget it by tomorrow.
Probably.
Yeah, that's where I'm at.
All right. My go. My theme. Excuse me. Ooh. All right. My theme, and this is kind of out of style now, but I brought it back because the list interested me. Men Amber Heard has dated.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Amber
Here we
Heard,
go.
as in the actor that was dating.
Yeah, I think everyone knows who Amber
Yeah.
Heard is at this point, Eddie.
Yeah, some people might know.
She's
It was
like
in the
the
news.
best person ever, Mother of the Year.
Yeah,
Mother of
I
the
know,
Year.
right?
Really.
Like what guy wouldn't want to be with Amber Heard?
I mean,
come
she's
on.
just a saint, honestly. Great woman.
Yeah.
Great. All right.
Strong,
So yes.
strong woman.
And I should. Sorry. People Amber Heard has dated. I should
okay.
specify that. Okay. So.
That makes me a little more
right.
interested in this
Okay.
list.
So. Number 1, Elon Musk. Number 2, I'm gonna botch up his last name, Andy Muschietti. For those who don't know, because I didn't know, he directed 2013 film Mama, and then the 2017 TV series. Sorry, let me back up. 2017 It. So the revamp of the old.
Oh, okay.
movie. And then he also did the Flash TV series.
Oh, that's why I know that name.
Yes, he directed all 3 of those. So that's who that is. And then Dakota Johnson, who was the co-star for the film 50 Shades of Grey.
Okay, this is a tricky one.
All right, I'll run through them again. Number 1, Elon Musk. Number 2, Eddie Muschietti, created Flash TV series 2017 It. Number 3, Dakota Johnson, co-star of 50 Shades of Grey.
I feel like I know what answer I want to say. I feel like it's wrong, but I feel like the other answers have to be right.
Okay.
I'm
so proud of this one.
Yeah, this is a tricky one. Okay, I think I got my answer.
All right, give it to us, Shana. What do you think it is?
I gotta go with Elon Musk.
Okay.
Zach, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking Dakota Johnson, just because if I'm correct, the first 2 are men, and I don't know if Amber
Yes, the
Heard
first
would...
2 are men. You are correct.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah. I don't think Amber Heard would be able to handle a woman in terms of a relationship. I think she might do something even crazier than what she did to the great Johnny Depp.
Okay. All right. Well, the answer is actually number 3, Dakota Johnson. You are right, Zach.
Darn it.
I know. So actually, what spurred this was, I don't know where I saw this, but yeah, Elon Musk has dated Amber Heard, or those 2 have dated.
I thought it maybe, but okay, the second one was way too specific. The same way I said the thing with the Sprite with its name. I'm like, if you're listing out that many facts, that can't be right. But I thought maybe, just maybe, Dakota Johnson was on that list somehow, because that seemed also too obvious to pick as a lie. Darn it.
You are wrong, Zach. She has dated women before.
Okay. Well, that kind of, I mean,
Yeah.
Hollywood's crazy. So
I was just about to say, yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Hollywood is
Yeah.
Hollywood.
like
Oh yeah.
having children before they even get married and then breaking up, having like a 72-day wedding. Like I'm not shocked that she's dated a woman.
72-day wedding?
It was like it was Kim Kardashian, and I think there
Holy
was
cow.
Oh, yeah.
someone like some basketball player.
Like, I've heard of that before,
Really
but only in like
fancy.
overseas religions. Like, I think there are some religions that have like super long weddings like that, but I've never heard of that for like a celebrity.
Are you looking it up, Zach?
I'm trying to like give context because I
Okay.
remember seeing this on like it's like Inside Edition or something.
No. Or do you read Insider Edition? Is that like your thing, Zach?
It's on I did find it. It's on if you watch is it ABC or is it CBS? It's one of the two. I think it's ABC. Might be KDK's channel. The point is, it's one of those like Hollywood-esque or like entertainment type
Right.
shows where it's like shocking development. Johnny Depp fell in a river. What will he do next? Like, who cares? It's Johnny Depp. But now you intrigued me because like you get that picture of
Yeah.
Johnny Depp. It's like like really zooms in on Johnny Depp and his foot is in the river and you're like, how did he get there? Like, now I need to know.
No, yeah, that would make sense. That would be where that info
Yeah.
would be published on.
But Chris Humphries, Kim Kardashian, had a 72-day marriage.
Who's Chris Humphries? And when was this?
This was in 2021.
Oh, wait, did you say a 72-day
What?
marriage?
Yes, I'm sorry, marriage, not like a
Oh.
72-day. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
I was
Did I
really
say
concerned.
wedding?
Yeah,
You
I
said
was a little.
wedding. 72-day
I mean, that's
wedding.
still crazy. 72 days isn't that long. That's still
Sorry.
crazy, but I was like, man, 72 days for a wedding. I don't know what you could possibly.
That's
I guess
You
if you get
say-
enough groomsmen.
Do you say
So he-
2021?
that was in 2021. Oh wait, what the hell? Why is it reflects on the? Maybe she's reflecting. Maybe I'm just reading into this. Let me
I was
see.
gonna say, because I thought she was like with Pete Davidson 2021.
No, she would have been Kanye still. They hadn't broken
Oh,
up
still
yet.
at that point? Okay.
Yeah.
It is so
Exact-
hard to keep track.
Okay, maybe I'm wrong. The dates.
I'm
are-
surprised you knew that she's with Pete. Well, she was with Pete Davidson.
She
That
was
was the
with
big
Pete.
news because
That
Kanye
was
West was like
huge.
having a mental breakdown or whatever.
Kanye was pissed, dude.
Oh, I know.
Kanye
No,
was
I
so
know.
mad at
I'm just
Pete.
surprised Shaner knows that because I don't.
Yeah, it was making the news, and the news makes its way around.
So you pay attention to celebrity gossip when it's on the news.
When it pops up on my social media feed.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
But yeah, exactly 72 days after broadcasting their lavish August 2011 wedding to millions of viewers, Kim K filed for divorce with NBA star Chris Humphries.
Oh, okay. Some random basketball schmuck.
I guess so, but like, really? Like, you're gonna. Does it say how much? Oh, no, it says millions of viewers. It doesn't say the cost, but I'm sure the cost was like really expensive.
I'm sure.
I'm sure.
It's just a
Alright.
waste of time to me, but whatever. It's Hollywood.
So our next segment is if you were, which is just it's an if you were situation that I'm going to pose, and you two, I guess all three of us actually, are going to say like, hey, what would we do in this situation? It's a hypothetical situation, you know. And this one is in honor of the late King Elizabeth. Gosh darn, I said King.
That's the second time.
Second time. Queen Elizabeth, who passed away days ago. Rep Queen and all that fun stuff. I'm going to
God
use it for
save the
content
Queen.
now. Yeah, God save the Queen. Yeah. So this question you might like or hate depending on how you feel about her. So If you suddenly discovered that you are second in line to the throne of England behind King Charles, of course, what would you do?
Oh, I already have my answer.
Yeah, I know you have your answer.
Yeah, I've been thinking on this for like a couple days now, but I'll wait unless somebody else wants to go first.
You need to think through it, Zach?
By all means.
Okay. So what you're saying, Eddie, is that King Charles is now on the throne and I'm next in succession, is what you're saying.
Yes, you.
Okay.
Through the generational maps and bloodlines, it's suddenly being discovered after
Okay, cool.
looking at it for the first time since Queen Elizabeth first went on the throne that you are now second in line. Who would have thought?
Okay, this is crazy because I have the answer to this and I'm just now hearing this prompt, but I already had an answer because this thought came into my head the other day. So we all know that, Eddie, I looked this up for us. Charles is 73.
Okay.
He's not exactly a spring chicken. So what I would do is I would go to London and I would tell him my claim to the throne and I would challenge him to trial by combat for the throne. And obviously he's an older guy, but this is not trial by combat by sword because while he's old, I think he knows his way around a sword. So you and I discussed this the other night, Eddie. I challenge King Charles to a fist fight. And obviously I'm going to win, not because I know how to fight, but because he's 73 and I am a young 23. And I just, beat him up and he submits because he doesn't want to get beaten up anymore. And I take the throne. And you know what? I don't even need any of the power. So what I do is I give all my power back to the government because nobody likes the monarchy, apparently, in terms of ruling. I don't need to make any good decisions. I just want to be king and sit in my palace and sit on my throne and just be the king. So I give all executive functions back to the government, however that works. I don't care. Somebody will figure it out for me. I'm the king.
Wow.
And then and my best plan is, since the one thing I will keep authority over is knighting people. And I can knight probably whoever I want. I'm just going to start knighting the weirdest people. Kanye West, knight. Why? Because it would be hilarious. I can knight whoever. Gordon Ramsay, knight. Like you name it, they're becoming a knight. And so that's my plan. And I will just make public appearances and do things like open buildings and be a figurehead. Because that's all I need. I don't want to make important choices. I just want to knight random people to make everyone mad. Walt Disney, honorary knight. Boom. Anyone you can think of, I'll do it. Harrison Ford, boom, why not? I had a really good example the other day and I totally lost it, but it was my funniest one. So you name it, they're becoming a knight, and I'll just make public appearances as the king.
Huh. Cool.
So that's my plan. It just summed up: fist fight the current king of England, take control, give executive functions to the government, and just start knighting random people. That's my plan.
That's really thought through.
Yeah, I've been thinking on this.
Impressive.
I've been thinking on this like since I heard Charles was taking the throne.
Shayner's just waiting. Shayner, I just have one question to ask you though. What
Yeah,
if
hit me.
Prince Charles was a Giga Chad? What if he
Oh.
was like he acted frail and old, but like he rips his shirt off, he's got like a six
Ooh.
pack, he's got like the V, he's got everything, and he's like ready to tear you in half.
Okay, so then I suddenly decide to challenge him to trial by combat by something else. And that's like I trial to combat by grenade launcher. And then I get to make the first move because I'm the challenger. And just one shot done, I win.
Well, yeah, that'll totally work. The government will totally let you do that.
They have to, it's law. What's King Charles gonna do? Back down? No, he'll look like a weakling at that point.
No, why would a Giga Chad want to back down?
Yeah,
He's not gonna
exactly.
Back down from a fight. Of
That's
course.
true.
So I
Of course,
just
he's gonna go
goad
up
him into
against
doing it.
grenade launch.
And like I said, I'm challenger, so I get to make first move. And I just completely beat the challenge.
That's beautiful.
Oh, man. Oh, that's great.
Honestly, I had my idea, but I like your idea of like just being around at night random people. I like that idea much better than my idea. My idea was something dumb like what was I even thinking? What
You
was
must
I
have
thinking?
forgotten it with my amazing idea.
Yeah, I did. I had something in my mind. I didn't write it down unfortunately because I'm dumb, but I had something in my mind. I do remember. Zach, do you have yours while I think of what I had originally?
Yeah, I could like go over it. So I would, instead of trying to like kill Prince Charles, he's 73, but he might be a Giga Chad. He might have muscles and he might mess me up. But yeah, I just like embrace the royalty. Like the first thing I do, Bugatti Veyron, brand new, Versace. I'd get all the luxury, and then I just become Andrew Tate. Because who doesn't love Andrew Tate, man?
Oh, that's a great
Who
plan.
doesn't love Andrew Tate? You know what?
Everyone loves him.
I'll get some cigars. I'll get some Cuban cigars. I don't even have to smoke them. I could just like light them and just act like I'm smoking them. But I don't have to smoke them. I could just like have them in my mouth and not smoke them and act all cool. Have my rollie. Be like, what do you got? Oh, you got your little Ford Fusion. Yeah, well, I built this from the ground up. I got a Bugatti. I got this rollie. How much your rollie? Your rollie 50 grand? No, your rollie's 2 grand. 2 grand ain't nothing.
So you'd go like full douchebag Prince mode.
I would just like have it as like I'd be a kind, humble person on the inside, but a douchebag on the outside. So like everyone be like, "Oh my God, he's such a douche," and then on the inside, like I'm helping old ladies across the street and like helping like little kids with their homework. I'm like, "Hey, let me out. Let me show you how to do this." And they're like, someone sees that, they'd be like, "Wait, why? How does that?" But like, I
Your
got
goal is-
Gucci.
Swear word.
Like, fight me. Do you?
No,
So your
got?
goal is
You
just to be
got
like
it.
a confusing celebrity.
Exactly. Like, it's perfect.
No one would allow you to go near their children if that's your public appearance.
Like, I would just I'd flex on people. I'd flex on my haters. If they'd like, "Oh, I don't like you," I'd be like, "Here's a $50,000 Rolex. Leave me alone. Get out of my sight."
Okay. You would do that. You would be the type of person to do that IRL.
I'd be like, "Here, you want 10K in cash? Shut up. Go over there, have a fun time. I don't care what you do with it. Just leave me alone. Leave me be. I got this riches and this wealth. I'm done. I'm set."
Well, my idea was like pretty lame. Like, I don't want the attention at all. I probably would relinquish my like title to that because I don't want that at all. But I would secretly be like, "Hey, did you know that at one point I was second in line to the throne?"
Okay, actually, that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
All
exactly.
right.
Like,
But you have to have proof. You got to take
proof?
something from the palace while you're
I'd
there.
have proof. Like, I'd have like a picture with King Charles. Like, I'll like, I don't know, have like a certificate or something.
See,
I'm sorry, Eddie. I'm not dealing with your treason. He is King Charles now, and you will address him as
you
such.
address him as King Charles.
I am sorry.
I'm not taking this treason against His Royal Majesty, King Charles III.
Is he the third?
Not
I
on
thought
this
he was the
podcast.
second.
No, he's the third.
He's the third.
I mean, no great person is ever the third. Okay, come on, like you gotta be the
that sounds
first.
like King Charles slander, and I don't take King Charles slander on this podcast.
Okay, fine. Jesus.
What does this look like? What does this look like? An American podcast? What do you think? We're a bunch of colonists? No, we respect the king in this podcast.
We respect the king and the queens and the people and everybody else. That we definitely not American. We're from Britain. We use a tongue a lot to pronounce words.
I like your idea, Shaner, of just like not having all the fun, but know the responsibility. I like that
Exactly.
better.
That's solid.
But
That's
originally,
solid
my
plan.
thought was like disown it, but like having a certificate saying that I was and use that somehow, I guess, because I like what to do now. But so yeah. Anyways, so that was everyone, right? You said okay, yeah, cool. Those were our 2 segments, and now on to the interview itself, where we talk about Zach, or not about Zach. We talk with Zach about.
Yep. Zach,
Really
tell us about your
trying-
life, birth to death.
Oh, geez.
Give us
okay.
your whole story.
I don't want to
All
hear all
right.
that.
So when I was born, it was
No.
like
It was dark and then it wasn't.
I saw Patrick in there. He was my homeboy, man. I was like floating in the water, and I was like, Patrick, I'm not ready for this. And he's like, dude, you gotta be ready. This is life. He was like Andrew Tate at one point. He was like, bro, you better get out of the womb like now. Like, I built a Fortune 500 company. I smoke cigars. I got a Bugatti before I was out of the womb. What do you have? Like, just get out of the womb. Get in your life. You gotta fight for your life. You gotta.
No one understands that joke. We made that off stream. We're off recording.
That's okay.
I'm not
Patrick
gonna-
is.
I'm going to cut that out. No one's going to understand that but us. I'm cutting that out.
Fine. Kill the fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed that. Ruined my fun, Eddie.
So, electronic dance music. Hit us, Zach. Well, I guess we'll hit you because we have
I mean,
the
I can't
questions.
hit you because I mean, look.
Yeah, I'm coming over. I'm just gonna start hitting people.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so we have a list of questions, and Zach, hopefully you prepared for them. If not, then this is going to be
sort of.
awkward.
Yeah.
But starting from the top, explain why you like electronic music the same way you would tell your grandfather if he asked you the same question.
So at least for me, I saw that electronic dance music as a whole brings people together, or it brought people together. And to me, that was really cool to watch performances in Ultra Miami or Tomorrowland, where you see people from all around the world, all different walks of life. And you'll see even some people from around the world, they'll carry their flags with them to these giant festivals. And there's no conflict, there's no hatred. It's just everyone enjoying the music. And I thought that was a really cool thing. And that was one of the things that just kind of got me more interested in it, besides the fact that it just makes me feel alive. Like a lot of other people, you just listen to it and it just like wakes you up and makes you want to dance or makes you want to move. So in that regard, it's just a great
Intermediate,
yeah, I guess you could say that.
come in between, a bring me together thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
kind of. I mean, I'm not gonna be like peace love, okay? I'm not a hippie, but I do appreciate that though. I think it's really cool that a lot of people can come together. I've gone to quite a few different clubs, not only in the US but outside the US,
Ooh.
and I just meet random people, and when we click or if it works out, like I just chill with them the whole night. I don't even know these people. I just walk in, everyone's really cool. Now of course you have your variety of jerks at the club, but at
Mhm.
least with the festival, I don't really see that much.
Okay.
It's really
Alright.
cool.
That's a nice, sophisticated answer, Zach. I'm so proud of you. All right, Tanner, hit him with the next question.
All right. So this one, I'm going to try to explain this best I can. So what are some of the names of sounds you would hear in electronic music? Like, are there specific, because I think a lot of the sounds not necessarily are repeating,
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think people are like copying each other left and right, but some things have a current, a common theme amongst the sounds you hear. So are there specific names for the sounds you hear? Like, oh, that's a I don't know, like a doo-wop or
Doo-wop.
that's an actual thing, but I couldn't think of another word.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, there are specific names for sounds. And at least when it comes to music, music is made up of a wide variety of progressions. If you want me to break it down into like digital terms, I can kind of explain it as a DJ would explain it. But there are measures in every song. Usually there's like 4, 8, 16, 24, and I think 32.
I think what Shane means is like outside your basic music theory.
In terms of the sound. In terms of the sound, there are a variety of different types of sounds that you'll hear with electronic dance music. Some of the main ones that most people have heard but might not know that they heard it. I sent you a few songs. The pluck sound, which kind of sounds like you're like tapping. There are 2 good tracks for that I sent. Calvin Harris, Drinking from the Bottle, it kind of has the it kind of
I know what
has
sound
like
you're talking about. Yeah.
yeah. Or Deadmau5 does it a lot, but the most recent track, it's I may be butchering this duo's name, but Cascade and Deadmau5 got together, made KX5, and they did this song called Escape, which also has that pluck sound. And then, so that's one of the sounds. Another one can be the bass, which is usually the low end of a track. It's a driving force in the track. So when you hear a bass, it's like dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
It's consistent throughout the track. So what most DJs will say is 4 to the floor, meaning it's 4 beats in a measure. A measure is 4 beats. If you imagine, well, people can't see my hands, but if you imagine a measure as 4 different beats, that is the base of, that's the like beginning of the track, and then artists build over top of that, adding synths and other different types of instruments. But the bass is a really big factor. When they say drop the bass, it could mean like just dropping a heavy thumping sound that is really strong and powerful in the track, and it really catches people. It grabs people's attention. So when you hear a bass, I mean, you hear a bass in most electronic dance music tracks, but especially when you hear a drop, you'll hear it much more prominent. Sometimes what DJs will do is they'll turn the bass up, so they'll turn it down as they're going, and I'll explain this too as a breakdown. They'll turn it down as they're going up towards the drop, and then when the drop hits, they'll slam it all the way on. They'll turn it all the way on to create a much stronger, more powerful sound. A breakdown that comes right before the drop of a song, usually that creates hype. So when you hear that, it's can be like a snare roll, it's until it goes all the way up. So it kind of goes up in pitch until it reaches the drop. And it can be faster than that. It can start until it kind of comes into 1, and then the beat drops. What else? Leads, also kind of self-explanatory. A lead is it's the main sound you'll hear in a track. A lot of times what I listen for in a track is a lead, because if the lead's good, it keeps me interested in the track. Of course, you hear the beat at the beginning, but I usually just skim through tracks. So when I'm at least building a playlist, I'll look for different elements that might work together, or I'll look at different parts of different tracks that are similar and try to put those two tracks together next to each other. The drop is also kind of self-explanatory. Most people probably know what a drop is. There's usually a measure right before a drop. Sometimes there's vocals in that measure, sometimes there's not. And then after that, the drop is, I guess it could be considered a chorus, but that might not be the technical term. And then that goes on for a certain number of measures, and then there's usually a crash. Excuse me, and that goes into the next verse, if that kind of answers your question.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna answer my question.
So what's the difference between a melody and a lead? Because those sound kind of similar.
They do sound kind of similar. Let me just look up. I'm trying to just give you an idea because this is where it gets a tiny bit more technical.
Sure.
Eddie, we need some of that like intermission music. You know what I'm talking about?
Like elevator music?
Yeah, like Muzak, as they call it, with like two A's and a K.
Oh yeah, that's what yeah, it's weird. It's called, it has like a specific.
We could.
I think it's German.
I didn't know there was a specific name for that.
Yeah, it's called Muzak. How appropriate, because we got Zach
I know.
talking about music even.
Yeah.
Like it was made to be.
So it's MUSACC?
No, I think it's MUZ.
Oh, MUZAK?
Let me see. Yeah, MUZAK. I was wrong about there being two A's. It's an American brand of background music played in retail stores and other public establishments. Came around in 1934.
I didn't realize that was had a name.
Yep. Now you know. There's a little history lesson on this podcast today.
So it looks like they are pretty similar, at least with, because some producers will do this. They'll use a synthesizer. It's usually a very clear, well-processed sound that can be used to create a catchy melody. That's what a lead is. And then with a melody, it's a aesthetic product of given succession of pitches and musical time, implying rhythmically ordered movement from pitch to pitch.
Okay. So based on that very complex definition that you gave.
I like I said, it can get very technical.
No,
and
you're fine.
I'll be honest, I'm not an expert, so I can't speak in real detail about that, but that's what I found about those two.
So to kind of numb that down a bit, a lead sounds like it's like a single consistent sound. Like it's just this one sound, like it's like da 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 da. Like that's one sound playing. That's a lead. But a melody could be a few or a couple instruments creating a, maybe not consistent, but a main sound that you can follow throughout the song. Is that?
The lead can be used to create a catchy melody. So what I think, just based off of that, is it's probably a specific sound that is used to create a very interesting part in a song. So what most DJ producers will do, or at least most producers will do, is they'll use in their DAW, their digital audio workstation, they'll use a plugin, and when they use that plugin, they can modify the items on the plugin to create different sounds. So what I'm thinking is that, at least regards to a lead, the lead is what is made when you mess around creating a sound, and then the lead helps to make the melody, which is the catchy part, or a catchy part in the song that grabs people's attention.
All right, that makes sense. That makes sense.
If that makes more,
yeah,
if that explains it a little bit better and is not as complicated.
Shane, actually, so pause for a sec, or not pause, but the songs that Zach sent us, and then the ones he's talking about, are going to be in the description of this video, so you don't have to go looking for them.
Yeah, look them up. Listen to them so you get an idea. Unless you're like, a music file for this kind of music.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Go
there's
listen
gonna
to him.
be.
On the topic of that, I'm surprised she said as Calvin Harris because, like, I find he's a very. I mean, I'm not like a super duper dedicated listener, but I find he's just very generic electronic
Okay.
music. I mean, in my opinion, just from everything else I've listened to, like he's pretty safe, doesn't do anything crazy, just like your nice catchy little tune. That's how he sounds to me. I don't know if that's like totally wrong or misrepresenting him.
I think it just depends on what he's doing. I know he just he just released a new album with some big artists. Halsey, Pharrell, Justin Timberlake are on some of the songs that he released. I think it's called Funk Waves Volume 2. You can look it up.
Okay.
It just released not too long ago. But the thing with most of these artists, and something that people argue, is that they become too mainstream, meaning they try to appeal to the masses.
Sell out.
And yeah, they basically sell out. But in regards to selling out, it can benefit them because they might get played on the radio more. If like Calvin Harris might get played on the radio more if he does a song with a pop artist like Dua Lipa,
Right.
or if he does a song with Pharrell or Justin Timberlake. Whereas if he stays true, maybe not stay true to himself, but if he stays with one genre, then he might not be as marketable. And therefore, it will be harder for him to branch out. So what I see a lot of these artists do, including one of my favorites, Martin Garrix, is they'll start out with one specific genre or a few different genres, and then they'll just keep branching out, working with different artists, working with different genres, and eventually they will get played more on the radio because they're branching out. Some people just sell out, or they're good DJs, but they're just, they're playing mostly what you hear on the radio. But some DJs will stay with one genre and stay with one specific style of music. It just depends, honestly. But I think with regards to Calvin Harris, I think he's a great artist, and I really appreciate the music that he's provided. He's provided a lot of really great dance music in the years that I've listened to him. Even though him and other big artists, DJ producers or DJs alone, have gone mainstream, that doesn't necessarily make them bad DJs. It's just they're more marketable to an audience, to a wider audience.
Okay. So since we're talking about people, who are artists that people should be listening to nowadays? Like, who are like the new greatest artists of this generation? Because I mean, most people know Calvin Harris. I don't think Martin Garrix has kind of crossed that lane as well. Who are the new ones coming up that are like really exciting?
So there's a wide variety of artists you could look at. If you want to go with some basics to start out with, you could go with someone like Artie, he was on Stamped Records. He has some pretty good tracks. I'm not sure how long Odessa has been around, but Odessa's pretty good. Mija, which I believe is Mija. She's not super recent, but she's pretty good. Yeah, Mija. And then as far as upcoming, there's a lot of different artists that come out. It really does vary. It's kind of hard to pinpoint one exact artist that is a really good new and upcoming artist.
Sure.
I know James Hype is relatively new, even though he's been killing it, and he's been killing it for a while. He's a newer artist I'd recommend. If you want to go with some oldies, Tiesto, Hardwell, Armin van Buuren, David Guetta, those are all great DJ producers. I'm focusing on big ones, but there are smaller artists that I just can't pinpoint. I would suggest, outside of some of the artists I mentioned, looking at the labels themselves, because one of my favorite labels, Spinnin' Records, they have a lot of different artists that come on the scene. So you'll see a lot of the same artists that people know, but there might be some different artists, and that's a good way to find new and upcoming artists. So looking at different labels is a good way, or even listening to like SiriusXM, there's Diplo's Revolution, there's BPM. Those are great stations, and they go over a wide variety of different tracks. I think Fred Again's pretty new. That's another good DJ. San Holo. Those are a few. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but those are just a few that I can think of off the top of my head.
Okay, so next question I'm fielding. And the question is, what are the tools that artists use when they're making EDM music? Like, how would one go about making an EDM song?
So there's a wide variety of tools that an artist can use. What a lot of artists use is a computer, like a MacBook Pro, like the one I have right now. But what some people say is that they're not artists. Skrillex actually had this in one of his songs, Rock and Roll. They're not artists if nobody can play the guitar, which is basically insinuating that a lot of these DJs and producers, they can't play an instrument, which they have to understand music theory to be able to make a song. So even though they may not be able to physically play an instrument, that doesn't mean that they don't understand how to compose music. But also there are artists that play piano, there's artists that play guitar, there's artists that will work with synthesizers, which is basically like it's like a change the sound just by twisting different knobs or playing around with different functions, changing the type of wave from a sine to a saw, which those that are listening, if I'm getting too technical, you could look that stuff up. But yeah, there's different ways you can change the frequency of the sound. And then some artists, what they'll do is they'll have like a keyboard with some functions on it, like a drum pad and a few different buttons, and of course there's presets in most electronic keyboards, so they'll change the preset. And actually a lot of the music that you might have grown up listening to, you could make on an electronic keyboard just by knowing what the notes are and then understanding how to create the sound. So there's a wide variety of instruments artists can use. I know as another good example, Deadmau5 uses a lot of different synthesizers in his music. So Martin Garrix plays the guitar. I think he also plays piano. Nicky Romero definitely plays piano. And Skrillex, he was in a rock band, or it might have been a metal band. Don't quote me on that. But he was in a band prior to being a DJ/producer. And he does know how to play the guitar. I've seen videos of him playing the guitar. He's very good.
Cool. I didn't know he could play guitar, Skrillex.
Yeah, there was a clip, or there's videos out there of him playing an electric guitar. There's also, I think, there's videos of Martin playing acoustic guitar. So they're out there, and these artists do understand music composition, even if they're just using a computer, but they can use instruments as well.
So is the phrase or genre of electronic a genre that encompasses a bunch of subgenres, or is it kind of just like this blanket term that everyone uses to kind of fall under this, or are there like subgenres of like electronic?
So it is a blanket term, to answer your question. So to give you an idea, like there is, and I'm getting this from a chart, which I can send to you if you want me to send you any of this stuff. I have it. But there's funk, disco, hip hop, early synth music, pop, and that's from 1960 to 1980. And then what branches out from there on one side is house, and then there can be hip house, there could be two-step or UK garage, there could be new disco, acid house, techno house, chill house, tropical house, progressive house. Progressive house is pretty big. It's one of my favorite genres. Disco house, funky house. While it does branch out, there are just some differences between the different genres. So I can't explain the differences, but the genres, there's like a genre, and then there's a subgenre, and then there's subgenres underneath that subgenre. Because I could go through this whole list, but that's just basically how it works. EDM, electronic dance music, is an umbrella term for all of these genres. Some of the people that like, say, dubstep may not know that it's a subgenre, but it all falls under electronic dance music.
Okay. I was gonna ask about dubstep. I figured it did fall under that, but I wasn't sure if it, like, I don't know, electronic people shunned it or something. I don't know. But
yeah,
cool.
It falls under, I think, drum and bass specifically.
So just kind of follow up on something you said.
It
Why
was-
do you like progressive house so much?
It was one of the first big genres that I listened to. A lot of the tracks that I started with were either progressive electro or just basic house and club music. So it just, I don't know, a good progressive house track goes a long way, in my opinion. It
Okay.
is very strong. It brings about a lot of emotion. It kind of, it gives you a really strong feeling. Other genres can do the same, but at least for me, a great progressive house track or a great electro house track or any of those specific genres that I mentioned, they just reach me on a deeper level.
Okay. All right. And then our last question is did people actually listen to the Chainsmokers unironically?
Yes, Eddie, people do listen to the Chainsmokers unironically.
Why? Okay, for so I guess backstory. So like back in 2016, Chainsmokers, they dropped Closer, which you may not remember that song, but like as soon as you hear like the first 5 notes, you remember, oh, that thing that we're playing on the radio like every single day. It was terrible every single day.
Well, with Closer, that was number one, I think, for, I think it was 15 straight weeks in a row. It was number one, 14 or 15, if I
Oh
remember
yeah, it was a
correctly.
big single. So like it was definitely up there, but like it's so big.
I think with regards to the Chainsmokers, maybe some people want them to go back to what they did originally. If you listen to Kanye, if you listen to The Rookie, you'll hear different music from the Chainsmokers than what you hear now. Also, I think it's called Split Up Only You. It's the Chainsmokers and Tiesto. You can look that one up as well. Very different from what you're hearing now from the Chainsmokers. But what the Chainsmokers has managed to do is something I think I mentioned with Calvin Harris, which is they make music that's great for radio. It's very playable, it's easy to listen to, and it's really, really catchy. And while it may not, at least this is my experience of listening to the Chainsmokers, while it may not sound good at first, it's, the more you listen to it, progressively gets better and better. And it's just really addicting from that standpoint, because some of their music is kind of laid back. If you're like at a gym and working out, you could listen to more aggressive stuff, but if you're just trying to calm down, like they have some more relaxing tracks that you can listen to. So they have a wide market that they're providing music to, and therefore their music is quite appealing to a wide variety of people, and therefore very playable on the radio. So people do listen to them unironically, but it's not just like they are really good artists is, I guess, my main point. Like they're a good group to listen to.
All right. I mean, I would not consider Closer to be a good song. I think it's just too repetitive, and I just don't think it's a good song. Yes, it is marketable. That does not make it a good song. If
No,
that
I
makes
understand.
sense. So I
Yeah.
would not consider. So get away from my hate. I mean, Shader, would you consider Closer to be a good song? Do you even know what I'm talking about? I thought.
Yeah, I tried to listen to what you sent me, and I don't recognize it.
What?
But I wasn't necessarily
that
I
what
wasn't
I-
necessarily listening to the radio
Okay.
at that point because music apps existed and I could listen to whatever I wanted.
Fine. Okay, fine. Whatever. Well, for those who know, you know. Shader, I can't believe you haven't listened to it. All right, whatever. Fine. Anyways,
Probably
so
heard it
well,
on
I
a
guess
music app.
why are Chainsmokers? Okay. Is there better music that people might enjoy from the Chainsmokers that they should check out? Not that I'm trying to promote the Chainsmokers here. I'm just trying to get to the
You're
bottom
totally
of whether
trying
they're
to
good or
promote the
not.
Chainsmokers.
No.
Eddie's just like secretly a chain smoker plant sent here to promote. That's the only reason we started this show, apparently. They were like, go onto this show, start a radio show with your college roommate, just so that in like 3 or 4 years, you can promote us on an episode you do about electronic dance music.
Okay.
That's the only reason you started
That's the
this,
only
isn't
reason.
Listen.
it? Admit it.
No. Okay. A little back. So I would always listen to the radio when I would go back and forth from doing various activities. I was driving every day, essentially, or being driven because I was like 16 and didn't have a license. Anyways, point being, we listened to the radio every single day. We
Mhm.
turn on the radio every single time. It was always
Right.
closer every single gosh darn trip. I swear.
Right, and there's a reason for that because the songs
exactly.
that are the most popular are played at least once every hour. So the songs that are at the top of the list are songs that people like the most, therefore they're played more than maybe a song that's later or further down the list, I would say.
Yes, Zach, I understand the
It's radio.
popularity and radio and all that. I get
But-
that. Doesn't mean I have to be happy about it.
No,
Especially
I think you
no,
have
a
to be
song
happy.
as repetitive as Closer. I think 2016, and I think that song because of how much it was played, which I guess was the point. So good
That
job, radio
was-
stations, I guess.
Look, I agree with you. At one point, I was making fun of the song, and it's not because I didn't enjoy it. I enjoyed it when it first came out, and then when it was so overplayed, I was like, I just had
Yeah.
fun with it because I was like, yeah, this is so overplayed at this point. It's a great track, obviously. I mean, it was #1 for 14 or
not.
15 weeks,
It's not a
but
good track.
Eddie, stop acting like you don't like it. You can tell us.
You
This
don't
is
even
a
know
safe.
what the track is.
This
You
is
don't
a safe
understand.
place.
this
Yeah,
is
but
a
see,
safe
I'm
space.
here as a safe space for you to come out and say it's okay to like Closer by the Chainsmokers. We are a safe space to say that. If
Okay,
you're in
so-
if you're listening to this episode and you're like, man, I just really love Closer by the Chainsmokers, but Eddie is making me feel so unheard right now.
So
you can
unheard.
comment. We got you. You're allowed to comment that, and Eddie can't do anything about it.
Okay, all right. I'll reel myself in.
You better.
Why does the greater community of electronic music consider Chainsmokers to be so great other than their marketability? Is that why? Like, well, why are they considered good?
Why are they considered good?
Oh, I'm making you think there.
Yeah, you are making me think.
My point is valid.
You got me outside my marketability stance. Okay. Alright.
I mean, what else have they provided other than that garbage song And
Oh,
apparently
they
they're
provided the
compatible with Kanye.
selfie song. You remember the selfie song? Do you not know the selfie song?
Ooh, I don't, but it like nudges a little bit in my brain. That's like, this sounds familiar, but I can't recall the song. Probably because I shut off the radio quickly after, not quickly, but eventually after Closer.
Yeah,
Racing it if it's 15 weeks.
that was one of their big songs.
I'm sure I'll recognize it when I hear it. Actually, I'm gonna look it up right now.
You know, but first, let me take a selfie. You
Oh
remember
my
that?
God, that one! Yeah, now there it is. Yes, I remember that. That was a garbage song.
Okay.
Eddie, what did we say? Safe space.
I'm fading into
Maybe
his
you should
hatred.
come out and say that you like the Chainsmokers. You're like your sleeper agent, Shaner.
You know, oh yeah, sorry, I'm the one who's a sleeper agent. Meanwhile, Eddie's over here going, man, let's just all talk about what's great about them. Like, man, I just love them so much. Tell me what's great about them.
I'm just trying to understand. I don't This is a personal question. This is a personal pet peeve that I'm bringing onto the show that I want explained. 2016 me wants an answer. Zach, you're not helping. Your only answer was they know how to make money. That was your only answer.
What more do you need? Maybe, Eddie, maybe here. Have you considered this? Some people just don't hate them.
And that's fine.
Maybe they just like them.
I mean, all right, fine, whatever. I guess that's a reason people just like them.
I mean, look, okay, outside of the marketability stance, because a lot of DJs can fall under that category. A lot of DJs that have quote unquote gone mainstream. With the Chainsmokers, I would say that if you listen to some of their early stuff, you'll hear something different. And that sound is, of course, it's different from now. And that was what initially interested me in the Chainsmokers. I actually did like the selfie song. So I will say that. I know that a lot of people hated that song and like they just despised it, but I did enjoy that song when it first came out. And then I kind of also got on the train of like I can see why people hate it, but I think just with regards to the Chainsmokers, like everything that I've listened to has just been getting better and better and better and better, even though they're not doing what they did when they first started. Everything that I've listened to from when I first listened to Selfie to when I listened to Closer, it just got, at least in my opinion, progressively better in terms of the quality of the music, in terms of, I'm not going to go off of marketability. In terms of the quality, in terms of the sound, in terms of just the sounds, just the songs in general. I don't know. They just, I mean, they are really great for the radio. That is a definite confirmation, but I guess I could say it similar to Martin Garrix, although Martin Garrix is a little bit different than the Chainsmokers. They just kind of found something that they're really good at doing, and they kept doing it, and they've been honing that ever since Closer really landed them on the map. Also, they're great to see live. They're very energetic. They're very fun to see live, which is another aspect I like about the Chainsmokers.
See, I would not have known that because I don't watch videos of live Chainsmokers. So okay, I can get that.
There's I mean, you could watch videos of any live DJ. You could look up David Guetta at Tomorrowland as an example. But yeah, I went to Thrival with one of my friends from college, and I got to see the Chainsmokers while Closer was on the charts. So that was really big for me. But they were really great live. They're really awesome, and they're just, I don't know, just for me, I really like their music. I like how they changed what they did initially, even though I like some of the stuff they did initially, like Kanye, The Rookie, Split Up Only You with Tiesto. those are all great tracks, and I'd like to see some of that. But I still enjoy the music that they do now. I know they just released an album, which is, I'm not gonna say I'm a Chainsmokers fanboy because I'm not. I just like them. They're good artists. They're a
Okay.
good dynamic duo. So Far So Good is their new album. So I advise just listening to that. And if you still hate them, fine, Eddie, you know, you can hate. Haters gonna hate. That's fine. But I would advise listening to So Far So Good. Most of the tracks on there are kind of mellow. But they're nice to listen to, and yeah, I'm curious to see what they're gonna do in the future. And that's my take on the Chainsmokers. I can't go into like the musical composition.
Sure.
I've definitely watched a video on it where they explained there was like 5 chords in most of their songs that they used. So it was just really basic, but just the way they did it so well is why their tracks sell. But there are videos out there that explain that, so I'm not going to go into detail or give my opinion on that.
Fine. All right.
You can look that up.
I'll stop roasting, or not roasting, but grilling you about the Chainsmokers. We can move on. Well,
Anyways.